Got a late night tool haul for you guys. My goal for tomorrow is going to be to clean all this stuff up and get it all kind of inventoried and put in a storage building, because there's just like way too much stuff in here, and most of it hadn't been opened yet because I've been kind of busy. Yeah, got some stuff. All right, this guy. These are catalytic converters for the IPL. Changing out the caps on those. I got a couple of new ones. See that honeycomb in there? There you go. Yeah. And it came with studs. Mounting studs. And nuts and bolts, gaskets, stuff like that. The reason I bought that up is because grab a few things off the pal. I got a new tool to put those in. And yes, I know that you can take two of the nuts and put together and jam and do it, but I'll talk to you in a minute. In a little while, I'll tell you why I don't do that. And I will if I had to, if I didn't have anything else. But I'll tell you why I prefer to use this tool and why I think it's safer. Also, a viewer, I gotta find it over here. A viewer was telling me when I did the Milwaukee tire inflator upgrade video, he was telling me basically like I bought a closed tip, so that's why it holds the air pressure, and they make an open one so that when you take it off, the air pressure leaves the tool. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I can see the benefits and then the disadvantages from either one, depending on what you're doing with it. So I got this one, which is a right angle. So I wasn't just gonna buy the open straight one. I was like, different situations, I could use a right angle one for tighter spots. And they also make their own little adapter, or they sell one. I don't know who makes it for them. So let's take this thing. Oh yeah, and somebody mentioned one day when they saw a tube of this in my tool bag, like, what are you doing red Loctite? Well, blue Loctite comes in a red tube. All right, maybe I'll come back and get that grease gun, because I have a lock-n-lube that I've never done anything with. So we'll get a few things, bring it to the table, do a little late night tool haul. I think that lock-n-lube is, I think I've already moved that to the storage room, and yeah, I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I want to see if, well, it doesn't matter because I don't have the I wanted to see if it would fit on the smaller grease gun, but after greasing up the 5 Series tractor, because it's been neglected and had a lot of dirt in there, I think Lock-n-Lube sells something called the Grease Buster. I'm definitely going to be buying one of those, because a lot of those I had a hard time getting the grease in, and the whole reason, let me grab that thing. The whole reason why I bought this little grease gun is because, you know, it's compact and everything, but look how small the handle is and everything like that. But man, my other grease gun is huge, and I'm glad it is, because I had to like use a whole lot of strength just to force the grease past all the caked up, dried up dirt and corrosion and stuff. So I would not have been able to grease that tractor in at least 7 or 8 of the fittings with this, because it just wouldn't have had enough force, enough power. I mean, I had to like really bust through. So let's go Koken first, guys. You know, I love the Koken tools. I even put a Koken sticker on my Snap-on toolbox, so that's saying something. And they give you little stickers when you buy something. It's in the packaging. Koken USA is the website where I typically get this stuff from. I hear if you don't buy it from them or one of their authorized retailers, then they won't warranty your stuff. So there's that. I typically, if they offer a sale, I will just order stuff directly from the manufacturer, no matter who they are. And part of the reason is because I don't want to have to play games with warranty. The other reason I do it is not so much for the warranty, that's secondary. It's because I want to make sure I'm getting an authentic product. And there's so many knockoffs these days that I'm careful about where I buy certain things from, because I want the real product. So here is the set. It came with a piece of plastic in here. I've already opened it before I started the video. I've looked at it already, guys. And here is one of the studs for my exhaust. This is a M10 by 1.5 thread, which is a coarse thread. If it was a fine thread, it would be a M10 by 1.25. Okay. So the smaller the number after the pitch, the smaller the number for the pitch, the finer the thread. So this is a larger number, has a larger space in between the threads. So coarse thread. Okay. So it would have been like a, M10 by 1.25 would have been a fine thread. All right. So the reason I rather use this instead of the 2 nuts is because when you lock the 2 nuts together, all the tension is just on the threads, okay? And I don't know if I'm damaging, which one's weaker, the stud or the nuts? Am I stretching or damaging the threads? I mean, even this tool uses the threads, but it's also it's bottoming out the stud in the tool, and there's like a little ball bearing to put a lot of the force on the head of the stud here. So when I screw that in, it bottoms out against that ball bearing. It's like spring loaded or whatever. So listen, if all you got is the 2 nuts, use the 2 nuts, because this is still putting tension on the threads, but the amount of thread, it has a much larger engagement on the threads, and it's using the base. It's using this part to put pressure on, and you bottom it out. All right, so this has a larger and a smaller end, so I put the more pointed end so that it can have a better chance of seating on the ball bearing better. Okay, so you can see, you screw that on, put this on a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, and insert it into your mating surface. In my case, it will be the catalytic converter. Okay, so you can look at how much thread is exposed on this side versus how deep that went in. So I only have like 3 threads that are left, so that's how deep. These are equal on both sides. So this is bottomed out, and now I can install this. Like I said, it is still putting some tension on the threads, so it's not like this is like giving you 100% protection to the threads. All of these stud setter tools, they do put some stress on the threads, but because it bottoms out, it's saving you by putting a lot of the force on the top of the bolt, which is safer for it. I like having the right tool for the job, guys. You guys watch the channel, you know that. That's why I have so many tools and specialty tools and diagnostic tools and stuff like that, because I like having the right tool for the job. I'll tell you something else that's pretty cool. I just saw out of the corner of my eyes. I love these things for fixing fabrication, yes, or if you just got to repair something and you know it has the drill. I'll pull the quarter 20 out. It's a very common size. I call them a drill tap. What do they call it? Drill and tap bit. I forget who was the first company to come out with these. The first time I ever saw them was a long time ago in Menards in Elkhart, Indiana, while I was doing like one of my early certification training. And I saw these and I was like, wow. And I bought a set of these. So while I was a dealer technician, you gotta make stuff work. And I saw that this was perfect way to, if you ran into something and you had to fix it, I could see that this was gonna be a good tool to make something work. So drill and tap all in one, using an impact driver, speed, you know what I'm saying? You're a dealer tech on flat rate, speed is your friend. And if you can get it done right and fast, that's the goal, not just to get it done fast, but to get it done right and fast, then there you go. So I like having the right tools for the job. So that's the Koken. There is the model number. So if you want the fine thread version, they cost about the same. This set is about $97 from Koken USA. Yes, you're gonna have to pay tax. They give you free shipping, and their shipping takes a long time because they're kind of sucky like that at Koken USA. You would think with it being in the United States that they get the stuff to you quick, but they don't. Sometimes it takes a very long time for them to get you a product. So there's a little disclaimer with that. But cool set, you know, just like everybody else, just use, you know, without this, you just take 2 of the nuts that will go on here and take 2 wrenches of the same size, obviously, and lock the nuts together, and you can get a stud out or put a stud in. I just like that this is safer, and I like having the right tool for the job. So a viewer was telling me about this, which, I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know that there was a difference when I bought this thing for the Milwaukee. But you see where it says open there? That's what the guy, and if you're, man, just shout out in the comments if you were the guy that told me about it. Just shout out in the comments like, yo, that was me. So I do read the comments. I read everybody's comments, and I do, even if I might not give you the reply that you want from the comments or whatever, I do like take your advice and suggestions from the comment section. And I make purchases sometimes based on that. Just like my dude from Canada who was like watching one of my videos that I did with manometers, and I was complaining about how manometers suck, and then he told me about the TPI, and I got a TPI, and it doesn't suck. So, yeah. So this one is the open one, so I don't have to stick the little thing in here to let the air out. So I'll be changing that out on a Milwaukee, and I chose to get the 90-degree one, you know, so that, I thought that was pretty cool as well. So if you don't know about these guys, they kind of, I think they started off with like grease guns, lock-n-lube, but this company, it's a little small American, like a family-owned business. Let's look at the box. Let's look at the box, guys. You know, I'm not gonna read it for you. Somebody should have helped you out with that a long time ago. This is made in South Africa. All right. But it's a small company, and it might be a veteran, like a veteran-owned and operated company too. So they might be vets over there. Hoorah! They do sell their own, because the last time, you remember when I bought the other one, after I got it, I was like, oh, it doesn't fit. So I had to buy an adapter like this. Well, this time I bought the adapter from these guys, and it is made in USA. So this is their little adapter. So if you're trying to put this on an inflator, like the Milwaukee inflator tube, which is pretty awesome. Here is your air chuck to Schrader valve connection. So there's that. So that we can put it on those. And that Milwaukee inflator is pretty awesome, guys. I mean, it's one of those things, you might not use it every day if you're just not really in the automotive world. But when you need it, and you'll be glad that you have it. You might have to air up your wife's tires or your own tires, or just help somebody out who has a flat while you're at the store or something. So there's that. And what else did we have? Oh, just the Loctite. Just showing my peeps that blue Loctite comes in a red tube, but it says blue on it. So if you see the top of that in a tool bag, it's not really red Loctite. It's blue. It's not permanent. You know, the red Loctite is for permanent connections, and I do have red Loctite. And on a camper, on certain gas connections, they're put together, especially at those manifolds, from the factory with red Loctite. And if I gotta replace them and I'm putting them back together, custom build, whatever, adding a line or something like that, taking out a plug, because sometimes the plugs are not. And if when you add a line, it's supposed to be permanently connected, red Loctite instead of blue. It's a pain to get them off, and that's intentional because they don't want you changing just the line. They want you to change the whole manifold assembly, so they know that it's tight and leak-free, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at my lock-n-lube thing and see if it fits on here. Because I like having, because a lot of the time it takes using a grease gun is one, either you got a grease gun that will not stay on the Zerk fitting, or you got a grease gun that always goes on the Zerk fitting and holds, and then after it gets the back pressure from putting the grease in, it doesn't want to let go. So that's when the ones from lock-n-lube, they come in handy, because you can just press the button to get them off. Yeah, lock-n-lube, that's the name of the company, because they started off with the grease gun stuff, but they make other stuff now. So that's the tool haul, guys. I'll get this one up to you, and I'm gonna call it a day. I also bought an Icon. Oh, I forgot about that. I bought an Icon T10. That's the box for the T8. I got so much stuff, you know what I'm saying, that I hadn't really got into and opened up yet. I got stuff everywhere, man. But we'll take a look at that in another video, and I'll do a video just on that. So that'll be the next video that I put out. After you watch this video, this tool haul, we'll do the Icon T10. We'll compare it to the T8, and I'll tell you why I bought that bad baby.